Well, I'm actually, friends with Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff and Jason Hervey. And Bischoff and Hogan and I bonded when I did that Raw 15-year reunion. We flew on an airplane, a private little airplane together from Los Angeles to New York, or was it Connecticut? I believe it was New York. And then Hogan and I flew all the way back by ourselves, and so, we bonded. We've kept in touch since then. At first, when they were talking about the Celebrity Championship Wrestling, I thought it probably sounded like something I would not want to be involved with. It sounded like something kind of silly. I've always been offended at celebrities getting into the wrestling ring, especially back when WCW had David Arquette as the champion. You could see Jay Leno wrestling, and it's an insult to us because I work really hard in the ring so that fans watching don't think they could do what I do. That's been very important for me. And not only the fans, but a lot of wrestlers watch my matches, and they just say, wow, I couldn't survive an RVD match. I take pride in that, speaking of pride. So, to say that, Tiffany, the girl singer, can get in the ring and do what I could do would be an insult. However, this show doesn't claim that. These are actors who are basically pretending they're wrestling. They're like acting like they're wrestlers. They get taught like 3 moves per episode, say an arm drag, hip toss, body slam. They have to go out there and compete in front of a live audience, and wow, what a hot crowd that was too. And then they go out there, and their matches are choreographed. They're scripted. Mine never have been. That's something I always find myself arguing with people. They'll say, well, people think just because it's scripted that it's phony, you don't get hurt. I'm like, whoa, hold on. First off, I have never seen a script of a wrestling match. And it's not just about being hurt or not that decides if it's real or not. It's about whether it really is competition.
I'll tell you, first off, just general thoughts on WrestleMania 25. I mean, it was a complete honor for me to be able to sit at ringside and call those matches and work with 2 Hall of Famers like Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler. I mean, I was completely going into WrestleMania, I didn't have any clue what they were going to do. From a broadcast standpoint, especially with Taz leaving the company that week, I didn't know what was going to happen. And when I got the word that I was going to be part of the team, I was absolutely flabbergasted and completely honored to be sitting, next to those guys at ringside for the 25th anniversary of the biggest event in the history of our industry. So obviously for me that was great. And then to be able to sit there and actually witness and be a part of what I still think is probably one of the top 5 matches of all time between 2 great competitors and great guys, in Undertaker and Shawn Michaels is unbelievable. I mean, they had the entire stadium, and I'm sure the millions watching at home on the edge of their seat. And I don't think anybody could have predicted which way that match was going to end up. It was absolutely phenomenal. Just a great night, just a great event. And, I just think, everybody always talks that it's hard every year at WrestleMania to have the greatest card of all time. I mean, some years the card may be a little up or down, but I still think the spectacle itself and for what it is, WrestleMania just continues to get bigger and better every single year. I mean, everything from the job that the TV production guys do, to make that event look how it does on television, and the job that everybody does in the ring, everybody does backstage. I think each and every year it just becomes even more grand and even more spectacular. And I just can't wait to be a part of it again next year. Hopefully, God willing.
Hi, from Italy. Here's Lauren. What's going on, man?
Hey, man. How you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just sitting by a really lovely lake in Italy. It's a pretty impressive view, man. It's good.
That's nice. Very cool.
Good.
Cheers, man. Cheers. Awesome.
Looking forward to doing the tour?
Absolutely. Just talking about it right now. It's going to be a blast, man. Getting ready to head over there and tear it down in a couple months now.
We'll definitely get them pumped up for you, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good.
No, absolutely. Very, very cool.
Let's run through the dates for the tour. We've got June 29th, Nuneaton at the Queen's Hall. June the 30th, Manchester, Moho Live. July 1st is Margate at the West Coast. And the 17th in London at Dingwalls. That's all the gigs that Lawrence and Voodoo Vegas are going to be supporting.
No, man, we're doing Paris as well.
Oh, you're doing Paris as well? I forgot about that one. There you go. So Paris as well.
Gay Parry in the summer would be very...
Cool, because that's the thing about this tour is it's so eclectic, and that we're doing headlining gigs, we're doing festivals, and then we're doing a tour of our own, opening for Anthrax. So we're all over the place. So I'm excited to have Voodoo Vegas supporting us, and it's going to be cool. Last time it was only 1 or 2 gigs that we saw you, right?
Yeah. Southampton and Yeovil. So I was, we really it was awesome shows, and the crowd was just pumped up. So to do it as the main support slot, it's going to be brilliant. It's going to be great.
Yeah, we're excited to have you too. It's going to be a blast. We're looking forward to seeing you this summer and coming to hang out in the UK again. It's our second home for sure.
Well, and it's the business, number one, and number two, I went on that tour to Australia with Hulk, and he got in my ear over there and said, "Come on, let's do it." And it's not that I didn't want to do it. I just didn't want to let down anybody that give me that tremendous farewell from WWE. But I gave it some thought, and I talked to Shawn Michaels, who's the only one I talked to about it, and I said, "Hey, I appreciate all you've done for me, but I'm thinking about going out." And he said, "Go have a good time." So that's all I had to hear.
877 Nasty 01 in the U.S. So just give me a call, and I'd love to talk to you if you're really serious about getting into business.
There you go. So anyone in the States, check that out. 877 Nasty 01 if you want to get trained by the legendary Brian Knobbs and of the Nasty Boys. Good stuff.
Here's that.
Okay, cool.
Hey, was that nasty or what, baby?
Wow, that was amazing.
Well, this guy right here, England, Roddy Piper, here he is, Live England Radio.
Hello.
How you doing, Live England Radio?
We're doing absolutely amazing, Roddy.
I'm speaking to England. I have a whole lot of people with me. Anybody you want to speak to in particular?
No, that's okay. We just wanted to say hi. How are you finding the convention?
She's at the convention. A lot of wonderful people at the convention. My son's here too, but nothing I can do about that. And it's nice. And the Nasty Boys are here. And they're nice enough to hand me the phone. I need to repay them by putting a snake in their bed or a poisonous venomous one. Anyway, listen, I'll be coming your way, I think. Maybe Perth in August, bringing my son.
Okay.
To buy him his first kilt there.
Okay, that's amazing. Well, we'll keep in touch. We always love to see you guys, the WWE legends, come back over to the UK. So, we'll look out for it.
Also, guys, without you guys, we're nothing, and it's always nice that you will pay some attention to us and allow us to be on your program. Thank you very much, and we'll see you when I get overseas.
Brilliant. Thank you, Roddy. Bye-bye.
Cheers. How about that? Hot Rod Roddy Piper with the Nasty Boys and Lita Ford is getting crazy here, dude.
That is amazing. This is like the best interview we've ever done, I think.
After doing the Expendables, learning what I learned from Sly, and learning what I learned from those other guys, I'm really looking forward to doing my next movie in October. It's kind of a SWAT team shoot 'em up and applying what I learned from my experience with those guys. So, man, I tell you what, I learned from working with Sly what he's delivering, and he's delivering a Sylvester Stallone action movie. And so if I'm delivering a Steve Austin action movie, I want to deliver the best, and I want it to have trademark stuff in it. And now I'm just kind of, after working with him, I kind of want to define and my brand as far as what I'm bringing. And if I get a chance to do some comedy, some humor, that would be great. It'd be a lot of fun because that's a big part of my personal life. But if I get to make 20 more action movies, I'm going to be a happy camper, and they're going to be some kick-ass movies.
So we're not going to see Stone Cold Steve Austin as the next Mr. Nanny or Tooth Fairy then?
Yeah. I don't think you will, believe me. But then again, I would have pushed some boundaries. But right now, after I saw, the Hunt to Kill, and I was very happy with it, and after working with Sly, I kind of got a little bit of a rhythm going on now. I know what I need to do. I know what I want to do, and I would like to throw a couple more back-to-back action movies, just because I want to define exactly what I'm bringing.
There we go. We are live on the Information Superhighway. Glorious Thursday to all. Yes, hello, Tez. How you doing, mate?
Hello, Lawrence. All right, mate. How are you?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. We're here to preview the Wrestling Rumble, as they call it, the Wrestling Rumble, the Royal Rumble, isn't it, Tez? It's going to be good. But it's good to have you back here on the MOS Network, mate. It's good to have you back here, dude. How you been?
I've been good, thanks. Thanks for having me back. I appreciate it.
It's good. It's our first Thursday night stream on the MOS Network. Hello, everyone in the chat room. Good to have you all here. It's a glorious Thursday as we're going to be previewing the Royal Rumble. That is this Saturday, Tez. Again, it seems like any time we do a preview of you, mate, it's a Saturday pay-per-view.
There's got to be something going on there. Something going on behind the scenes.
I feel like it's a better night of the week to do for us in England or the UK to watch wrestling pay-per-view. It's so good. You can get up and have wrestling pay-per-view at breakfast.
Exactly. I mean, I was going to say you could stay up and actually watch the event, but let's be realistic. It just means you can get up at a normal time the following day and watch it with the cereal.
It's brilliant. You don't even know, as long as you're not addicted to your devices and going, oh, I better just look at Twitter. First thing I do on the way. Oh shit, I've been spoiled. Oh my god, Bob Holly won the Royal Rumble. Something like that. We
can but hope.
Tez, before we continue this wrestling podcast / video show, I need to talk to you about something, because basically something popped up on that was released just this week on Apple TV, and it was the new series of Fraggle Rock. Now, my goodness, mate, I was like, just when I had my dinner, it's behind the curtain, it's 8:10 here, and we just had dinner, Meryl and me, and I was like, well, we need to watch this while we're having dinner, Maurice. It's only 24 minutes. It's perfectly prepping for watching wrestling. So we started watching it, and then there was this ridiculous theme song, and I was like, what is this? I was like, what is this? It was some pop song. All the Fraggles were singing it. I was like, this is ridiculous. But it seems like the first episode was some sort of weird prequel to Fraggle Rock as we know it, because at the end of the episode, spoilers, that they played the awesome Fraggle Rock theme song, and I was really happy. And now every episode, it's the Fraggle Rock theme song. So check out the new series of Fraggle Rock. Did you ever like Fraggle Rock, Ted?
Gotta be honest, never once seen it in my life.
What? Have you ever heard the theme song?
No.
Oh, Ted, we need. Oh God, I'm gonna risk the YouTube ban, the YouTube flag.
I think you can get away with like 13 seconds, can't you? 10 seconds, something like that.
I'm gonna play 13 seconds of the Fraggle Rock theme song, Ted, just for you, because you have to appreciate how good this song is. Is it gonna give us? Oh, here we go. Groovy bass. Isn't it good? Get your cares away. It's amazing.
I mean, it's not quite Magnum PI, but it is up there.
Yes, but you got to appreciate the slap bass, a bit of slap and bass. I'm going to stop just in case we get a bit done for that. That was enough of playing Fraggle Rock, because it was awesome, Tez. It's awesome. Go. And if you got the Apple TV, the 4K looks amazing. There you go. Yeah, erratic. My childhood was ruined. Meryl and me were literally gutted that there was no Fraggle Rock theme song. We were gutted. We couldn't believe it. What is this shit? Why are they ruining our childhood? But no, first world problem's over. The Fraggle Rock theme song is in the new series of Fraggle Rock. Thank goodness. So
panic over.
I know, panic over. Wrestling isn't like it used to be, Tez. And the Fraggle Rock is, though. So
Fraggle Rock is, that's the main thing.
Thank goodness. But yeah, it's good to have you here, buddy. It's good to have you here. Thank you, everyone else tuning in live on the Information Superhero, wherever you may watching us. Wherever you may be watching us, it's sort of like we thought we'd better do a Royal Rumble preview, and it was quite good fun. I thought we'd do it. It was good, and I'm glad, Tez, you could join me here, mate. We got an announcement about a future show coming up on the MOS Network that will involve Tez later on. At the end of this show, we'll be sending to you guys about that. We'll also be in the podcast feed and on video, so quite excited, Tez. And it's good to have you part of the MOS, the ever-growing MOS Network. And congratulations to Andy as well, because he got to top 80 in the TV podcast charts for Retro Chat this week, which is fantastic.
Awesome news.
It's very good. The network is growing. So, Tez, we're getting into the Royal Rumble season. Before we continue into the modern day Rumble, what is your favourite Royal Rumble? And what do you generally think of the Royal Rumble? Is it the time when you're a wrestling fan that gets exciting for WWE?
Royal Rumble has always been my favourite pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And I think nostalgia plays into what my favourite Rumble is. And that is the first Rumble that I saw live as a kid. And it was Royal Rumble 2000.
Wow.
I think the main thing that I remember about that was seeing the Hardy Boys v the Dudley Boys in the tables match, I think it was. And that was the first time I've ever seen any sort of wrestling like that. And the Rumble match as well. I mean, I think that's the one The Rock won, the shenanigans with what's his name, Big Show at the end. So, I mean, in terms of Rumble matches themselves, I'd probably have to say the one that got me the most hyped was it 6 years ago now when AJ debuted?
Yeah.
But I mean, Royal Rumble is normally when, you know, you start getting that wrestling itch again.
Oh, totally, yeah. It's the prime time for wrestling fan at the Royal Rumble, isn't it? Everyone knows it. It's the best time. And the thing is with the Royal Rumble, which makes it great, is that it's one of those things where if you've got friends like we all have who don't like wrestling, they're like they know it. Oh, I know Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh, I know Hulk Hogan, whatever they say. But they also know the Royal Rumble, and they know what it is, don't they? And if you have a fight in the playground or, you know, out on the street, you're like, let's have a Rumble, let's have a Royal one. You know, it's like, you get really into it, don't you? Because you're sort of, you know, and everyone knows the Royal Rumble. Not that I go around fighting on the street or in playgrounds. But
no, I was going to say, there's not like a buzzer hanging around the playground. Next one, go, run.
Get him, kids, beat you up. But, you know, it's the thing that people generally do know, don't they? They 100% know the Royal Rumble. And it's I like the fact that, apart from that stupid one in Saudi, the greatest Royal Rumble, WWE have been pretty cool with not overloading it. They don't do they've done a couple mini Rumbles on Raw, haven't they? Not many over the years. It's mainly just this one show for the Royal Rumble, and it's really cool that it's a, you know, well-kept gimmick match that hasn't been spoiled, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they've tinkered with the formula a couple of times. There was the 40-man Rumble a few years back, and I used to quite like the gimmick when they had the kind of tombola to pick your numbers, because at least you know, okay, I know certain people when they're going to appear. But then you get the surprises as well, and surprises are half the fun. I mean, you know, whoever's a surprise probably isn't going to win, but it's the fact that, you know, someone that you haven't seen for years could turn up, or a random celebrity or whatever. It's the best night.
We'll get into that a bit later, but if you're in the chat room, let us know. Seth has already said what his favourite Royal Rumble was, 92. So if anyone else in the chat room wants to let us know what your favourite Royal Rumble was of all time, let us know. But yeah, we'll be looking into who we think might debut or come back later on tonight as we get to it. But lots of good matches coming up tonight. Well, lots of good, not tonight, coming up this whole weekend. This whole weekend is a big weekend, big dome show as well for the Fed, isn't it, as well?
All right.
So should we get into the matches, Tez?
Let's get into them.
Let's do it. So let's go for the women's Royal Rumble first, I think. So you got the women's Royal Rumble already announced. You got Rhea Ripley, Nikki Ash, Dana Brooke, Carmella, Queen Zelina, Tamina, Shotzi, Natalya, Aaliyah, Naomi, Shayna Baszler, Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown champion, Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, Lita, Michelle McCool, Kelly, Summer Rae, Mickie James, TNA Knockouts World Champion, Impact Knockouts World Champion, Bianca Belair, and Liv Morgan. What do you think, Tez? That's only 21 out of 30 confirmed. So what do you think of Charlotte going in as champion as well? Saying she's going to win it.
I hate to say it, but I reckon she's going to win it.
You think Charlotte will win?
I think she'll win it, or I think as much as I don't think it normally happens, I think it's either going to be Charlotte or Lita. Lita, if she won, to obviously build to a feud for Mania, but you don't often really get legends.
No.
You know, winning it then more for the nostalgia pop. My main concern with this Rumble, and I say concern, I mean, I don't really give too much of a hoot about it, is that they don't just have Mickie James come out and just get knocked out straight away by, like, you know, Liv Morgan or Nikki Ash. Like, you know, if you're going to have her out, just give her a little bit of respect, not just because she's an Impact champion, but, you know, she's done her time in the Fed. So I just hope they don't just go, look, she's useless. Yeah.
Do you think they would mention that she's Impact champion on the show? They've done it once on SmackDown. Barrackley sent us the clip and said they done it on SmackDown when she was announcing the Rumble. So you think they'll say it on the pay-per-view again, or do you think that's it?
I think you may get a mention from a commentator, but I don't reckon she certainly won't get announced. I wouldn't have thought as Impact Women's Champion. I mean, it doesn't seem like a Vince thing to do in the modern age to acknowledge another company.
Oh, it's in the contract. If it's in the contract, yes, Berkeley said. Really? So of course she is an Impact talent, isn't she? So that they might have said if you want her. But then let's be honest. What does Mickie James bring to the table as a extra talent on this card?
Nostalgia pop. I don't see anything more than that. I mean, she came back a few years ago and was there for a little bit of time, but very quickly became, Yeah, she's she was
with Alexa with the like, sort of thing, wasn't she? Now, yeah, I mean, to be honest, what does it matter once she comes out and they say the Impact Knockouts Women's Champion, it's Mickie James? What in the long run on Raw the next night, it won't matter, will it? So maybe that was part of the agreement. I think it's quite cool she's in it, and I agree with you. I hope she gets a run, a good strong run in this, and
Just seen Priceless mention about returns Asuka, maybe Bailey. The main one there that's just jumped out to me, that his mention that I didn't even think about, Io Shirai. I think that would be so cool because she's one of the last few red, gold and black brand NXT kind of stars that I think can still get a pop.
Yes.
I think that'd be really cool, actually.
I think so. That would be quite cool. And of course, on the grapevine around the wrestling world of internet rumors, there seems to be a big debate about Ronda returning. Now, what do you think?
I mean, I don't know. Does she want to? Because she kind of is a bit kind of sour grapes at the end there, wasn't it? Like how the kind of crowd turned on her. It kind of seemed, I mean, whether that's her working people, it kind of seemed like she took that very personally.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, money's going to be a big money deal.
Money. She's got a baby now. Had a baby.
Yeah, I think they're going to need that kind of publicity if they got her coming back and appearing in the Rumble. Yeah. But I think if she was to appear, it wouldn't surprise me if it was a similar deal to when she debuted, like a
one of those pointing. Of course, this is when pointing season starts as well. God. How was your pointing, Tez? Is you good at pointing? Must mean he's going to WrestleMania.
Wasn't there a news thing? Wasn't there a news thing a little while ago that the talent aren't told? The talent aren't told to point. They just do
that's
it themselves.
bollocks.
Yeah, exactly.
They are definitely told to point. What? It's not like when a team wins the FA Cup final, they're like, "Oh, let's point at the trophy."
Yay!
They definitely, when you win this, you must point at the sign. And then every show, and if I want to challenge you at WrestleMania, I'm going to point rather than say it.
I can't tell you I want to challenge you at WrestleMania. I've got to go,
yeah.
You know what this means.
Yeah. Down a pub. No, the pointing season is not the best thing. Her for Mania is the thing, Berkeley says about Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, I can certainly see if she is going to come back. I don't know if I'd see her in the match. But yeah, I guess it would make sense to appear. Definitely, if she is.
Well, I think on the women's side of things, you're probably going to get Bianca Belair and Becky. So could Bianca win this match here in the Rumble?
That would be two. She won last year, didn't she? So that'd be two in a row. Yeah.
Or does Becky beat Doudrop? I was jumping the gun to another match. Does Becky beat Doudrop and then Ronda comes out? But that'd be a bit lame with regard to a Royal Rumble being here, where you have the whole countdown and then she had Joan Jett, wasn't it? Her entrance, her entrance music, wasn't it?
I imagine it probably would get a pop because it's quite iconic music in general and to her. So yeah, I don't know.
Oh, there's no doubt Becky's beating Doudrop, Pericles. I agree. There's not much to talk about that match, really.
That's going to be a quick
Becky
segment.
wins. But yeah, anyone else you think out there in the wrestling world for the Forbidden Door or any other legends? There's only 21 people announced. Oscar's another one. Was it Oscar, Bailey, Lacey Evans, maybe. Surprise from Io Shirai, Mandy Rose, maybe. And big one, Ronda Rousey, Mr. Price says. Anyone else you think, Tez, from any other companies around?
It's a tough one because since kind of AEW's come around, there's not really anyone I could see personally coming from AEW to WWE, so for a surprise. And then kind of in that same vein, who's big elsewhere? I mean, is there anyone other than Mickie in Impact that would elicit a reaction? Like Jordan Grace, yeah, she'd be
cool. Tessa
Blanchard, be cool, but do you see it?
They wouldn't like her in the face, probably not, would they? Imagine Tessa Blanchard and Charlotte Flair in the ring together. That'd be good.
That would be pretty cool.
Tessa Blanchard's really cool. I like Tessa Blanchard. I know I keep saying about her, but everyone's like, no, they won't like her because of what she said, but I quite like her.
Yeah, she's a good talent. I just don't, in the current era, I don't see who could be a surprise that would get the kind of pop that they'd want from a surprise entrant, you know?
AJ Aja Kong could do a quick in and out, but Vince thought she was Too stiff in the 90s. Angelina Love, Erratic Agent says. Sable Berkeley says. Sable, wow.
Alundra Blaze would probably be a surprise entrant.
It's a bit lame, isn't it, though? The fact that how long have they had these women's rumbles for? This is maybe the 5th one now or something like that. And they're still going to the well of, Kelly and Michelle McCall and Lita. Lita's great, don't get me wrong. And she was offered an AEW contract last autumn. But Erratic says Paige, actually, in the chat room, which is a very good shout. She'd get a huge pop if Paige came out. Huge.
If she's got cleared, which with Edge and Daniel Bryan these days isn't out of the realms of possibility, she'd get a huge pop.
She would. And I know she wants to come back, doesn't she? Wants to work for it and come back. So it would be quite cool to see. Is Canada in lockdown? Oh, Canada's locked down, so maybe that might be a problem. Yeah, that's a good shout as well, Berkeley's. Paige,
I reckon we'll probably get some NXT people coming up, just in general, like I don't know who's in NXT these days. Cora Jade probably get a run out, and Mandy Rose, which Price has mentioned.
Any from NWA or ROH?
I don't know who's in NWA or ROH.
I think Lee said on MOS that what are they called, the Iconics, whatever they're called now, in TNA and Impact, were offered a slot in this as well. So they have been looking outside the company. If they turned it down.
Fair enough.
Inspiration, yeah. Well, that's one. That's it, Mr. Morris. We missed you on Sunday. The Inspiration. So they're definitely looking outside the company. Do we think? Is there any chance at all anyone from AEW turns up?
If Britt Baker came out, then it would be
the Doctor will see you now. That place would go nuts.
But I just can we? I don't know. I don't know if Vince would want to acknowledge them. If anyone was going to come from AEW, I think it would be her.
Yeah.
But I don't see it. Unfortunately, I don't see it.
Thunder Rosa would be quite cool. Well, she has worked in NWA as well, so. Yes, that's Erratic has made a good point as well in the chat. Mickey James shows up. Does that give Nick Aldis a good shot as well? How many people would cheer for Nick Aldis? Not many. I don't think. It's not like, he hasn't been doing a lot in NWA, has he? Maybe the British invasion's coming back, but...
AEW have been trying to get everyone under the sun on the show, and they've not tried to get Nick Aldis. So that kind of gives you...
Camille would be a good shout as well, Seffi, for the Women's Rumble. There's a lot of people thinking...
Melina, actually, and Victoria, probably. Yeah, I think they're probably quite
Molly
strong.
Holly, she's not announced yet. I'm sure she'll pop up.
Yeah,
she does every time. But it's always good. The thing I like about this on Sunday, for us Sunday, or Saturday night, Erratic's one of the lucky ones. He can watch it at like 8 o'clock on Saturday for him. But I love the fact that the Rumble is a match you can really just watch and invest in for that hour. It's really cool. You don't know who's coming down, how long they'll last. You get invested in a legend that comes back. Like, we'll all want to see Mickey have a good run. It's those sort of things, and there's story. If they do it right, there's stories within the match, multiple different stories, which is really cool to see. I think I do enjoy that a lot about the Rumble. So I'm excited about it. This is one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year.
Yeah, definitely. You can see things playing out with like Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash. They're feuding at the moment, so you can see one screwing over the other, or maybe they have a short-lived alliance. There'll be some cool moments, and like you say, 21 of 30 have been announced. There's still nine slots, and quite a few possibilities. So.
Yes, and I think we'll just get on to another match, actually, Tez. On the list, I might... match 2. What I've got down as match 2. So a competitor in this, or both, might actually turn up in this match as well. So you've got Edge and Beth Phoenix versus The Miz and Maurice. Now, first of all, I think this is an absolute waste of Edge if he's not in the Rumble as well. He would be synonymous with the Rumble from that pop he got 2 years ago, to be honest.
Yeah.
And everything that's gone on with him since he's been back. And Beth Phoenix looks in incredible shape. If she does double duty on this, if there's only 21 entrants, and she left the commentary booth at NXT, she looks badass. But I totally think this is a waste of Edge and Beth Phoenix, to be honest. Maybe not Beth Phoenix. She's getting a featured role, to be honest. If she was just like a legend coming back for this Rumble, just be a legend popping in and getting thrown out after 5-10 minutes. So she is getting a bit of a featured role, and if she's in the Rumble, she'll get even bigger pop for coming out twice. Edge, now he should be in the Rumble.
Yeah, I fully expect the Miz and Maurice to win via shenanigans, because they're going to want to drag it to Mania. But then I definitely see, Edge losing in this match, but coming out in the Rumble, probably in one of the later numbers.
Yeah.
Or maybe they have both Edge and Miz in the Rumble, and Miz is doing all right, then Edge comes out and it's continuing on from that feud. But they're going to have Edge at least in the Rumble, if not also Beth. Can't speak tonight. Beth Phoenix.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know if this match would go along. Maurice won't put up any other fight with Beth at all. The Miz can't really go toe to toe with Edge. They've already had the match, and last month. So I don't know. I hope to see both Edge and Beth Phoenix in the Rumble. To be honest, it'd be quite cool. Berkeley's Backlund. I don't think he'll be in the Women's Royal Rumble, Berkeley. But no, I don't, not too into this story. It's silly WWE storylines with like presents and all that sort of stuff, and when someone's scared and all that. But those two looking like both in incredible shape, and for them it must be so cool to be able to tag team together as a husband and wife.
Exactly, yeah. For the kids, their parents are basically both superheroes, aren't they?
Yeah, it must be awesome. And the pops are both, it would be pretty cool. So, not much to say about that match, really, is there, Tez? To be honest. We want the other guys in the Rumbles.
Yeah, it'll happen. There'll probably be some cool little duo spot where they, all four in the ring. That's about it, really. It's not gonna tear the house down.
Yeah. Right, so match 3, Tez, Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Seth frickin' Rollins. Which, again, I'm not totally sure how Seth Rollins, who's on Raw, is fighting Roman Reigns. I understand because they've got rid of everyone and they haven't got any big stars on SmackDown. But why is it Seth Rollins? I don't understand.
So I've in honesty, been dipping in and out of the WWE product the last few months. It's all been kind of AEW for me, but I've been catching bits and bobs. So is this a heel v heel match, or is Seth face, or how's this been kind of played?
He's been a heel for ages, especially on Raw and that whole Edge feud. And then, but when he was on SmackDown last week, he was very much a face, baby face, with Kevin Owens, who came out to help him in a tag team match. So I'm not sure, and I don't know how everyone would take to everyone. I think what I like about Roman is that everyone is sold on his heel stylings. They like to boo Roman because it's part of the show. They're not liking him so much that they want to cheer him in his heel ways. He's not like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Heel.
I think he is a cool heel in a way, though, isn't he? He is a cool heel, but he is a cool heel that people also like to dislike. They don't want to ruin it for themselves. They can see what could happen with him. Do you know what I mean?
So I didn't mean cool heel like the ones that are kind of, wink and a nod to the crowd like, I'm a bad guy, but come on, you all love me. Like, he's just...
Survey says?
Yeah. Like, he comes across very much as, I'm living my character.
Yeah.
I'm the head of the table. You're all beneath me. You all kind of worship me. And, he's doing top dollar stuff at the moment.
No, he is totally, yeah. I mean, and I think people are sold on it. They don't want to cheer him. They want him to be the bad guy for however long it will be.
Yeah.
Seth says in the chat, Roman badass heel, Rollins slimy heel. That's what the different types of heels. Imagine if someone who didn't like wrestling and knew what heels were. He's a badass heel, and this guy's a slimy heel. People wouldn't know what we're talking about.
What?
Babyface? What does that mean? No, I think Roman's bound to win this. There's no chance that we're going to see, and maybe Seth will go into the Rumble as well.
Yeah, I think because they've only got 21 announced in the women's 22.
Tea, Meryl.
I can just kind of. I'll have a hot chocolate, please.
Can you take Tez a hot chocolate, Meryl? Yeah, okay. And all the chat room around the world would like some. I'm sorry, Tez, I interrupted you.
That's all right. My only kind of concern where they have basically trimmed down the roster so much, as we know, over the last few months, and with the entrance announced, what I don't want to happen is that too many of the people in singles or tag team matches are also in the Rumbles. Like we mentioned Edge, 100% he has to be in the Rumble. But I always found it annoying when you had open slots and you're hoping, it's going to be someone really cool or a debut.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it's John Cena who was in a title match earlier on the night. Like Edge, I definitely want in the men's Rumble, but I don't really want, I don't want Brock to rock up or Bobby Lashley. Because that just takes away the surprise element. And even though they're a cool wrestler, you automatically think it's like that moment when everyone wanted Daniel Bryan to be number 30.
Yeah.
And Rey Mysterio came out.
Yeah.
Big babyface, where everyone booed him because they were just like, come on.
Yeah.
So Yeah, Seth could fit in well into the Rumble, but I want those 8 slots to mainly be surprises.
I think it depends what happens with the the Brock and Bobby Lashley match as well. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, let's go to that match. Well, let's just say the Becky Lynch Doudrop match. Becky Lynch is winning. There's not much point to talk about that. So, I mean, if you've got another thought, guys, let us know. Please send in messages to the Discord or message us or tweet us and all that stuff. If you think Doudrop will win and we should have took a deeper dive into this match, let us know. But Becky Lynch is winning. So if you go to the other men's championship match, Brock and Bobby Lashley. Now, it's interesting because they're building Bobby Lashley, but is he in last year's Goldberg role, like with Drew? Just he's a really big, powerful guy that can lose to Brock for a possible champion versus champion match. Or if Bobby wins, does Brock go into the Rumble and possibly win it to get the title shot and go up against Roman Reigns? Or on the other side of things, I don't think they'll take the belt off of Roman. They won't. Do you think so?
My gut feeling is that Roman and Lesnar will both retain to head towards a champion v champion match.
Right.
There's always going to be a possibility that maybe Brock drops it. I don't see Roman dropping it, but maybe Brock drops it and wins it back before Mania. But realistically, I just think that pretty much everyone's going to be retaining. Is my kind of gut feeling. And I think if Brock did lose, then went into the Rumble and won it, I can see WWE doing that because it's WWE, but I don't want that to happen because, like I said earlier, it's when someone's in a match then appears.
Yeah.
It's just, it kind of takes away from it. So
I think if they could do it once, maybe. If Brock loses, Bobby could go in. No, but he can enter the Rumble and then go against Roman at WrestleMania, possibly. So he still saves face. He loses in a close match. Do you think Brock and Bobby goes long?
I
think it's
probably no more than 10 minutes.
Right. Both good workers, though.
They're both good workers, and they've obviously both got their MMA pedigree. I mean, they don't really seem to mention too much about Bobby Lashley's. I think he's had a couple of mentions about his MMA record, but it says Bellator or whatever it is. It's not UFC, so it doesn't really get as much credit. I think maybe 10 minutes, 15 at a push.
Yeah,
but because neither of them are gonna be made to look weak because they're both the powerhouses. Arguably the strongest looking wrestlers that they have. So I don't think it's going to be a clean finish, but I just see Brock taking the title.
Does Roman come and cost Brock the whip victory? Possibly.
Could be.
So that could be a Fed story. That's a Fed story all over. Roman comes and costs Brock the victory. Somehow, just comes out and Bobby wins, and then Brock to screw him wins the Rumble, enters the Rumble, beats someone up, enters the Rumble, takes their spot, and then he gets a title shot.
On the outside as well. How much will he play into that? I've heard rumors that he turns on Brock because of the way Brock talks to him, and then aligns with Bobby. But I just don't see that working because Bobby doesn't need 2 managers.
Yeah.
There's a lot of possibilities that it can, different routes that it can go down. Don't know which one's best though.
Which makes it good, though. Isn't it good? Because Bobby has been risen up quite a lot. I know they lost to Goldberg and Saudi back in October, but they have been pushing him. Semi sort of babyface character now as well. So this is going to be a good match. I'm looking forward to this one. It's the first time they've ever met as well. Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. Bobby Lashley said he's always wanted this match.
Yeah, definitely. And both of them. I mean, Brock, his moveset has, as Berkeley said, become or Erratic Agent, has become a bit, rinse repeat.
Yeah.
But it's still entertaining. And Bobby Lashley doesn't really. I can't think of a bad match that he's had recently. He's a good powerhouse. I think it's going to be a decent match.
It'd be good. It'd be a good match, mate. I can't pick a winner. If I have to, Brock Lesnar.
I feel Brock's going to take it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Bobby won. But just feels like it's going to be a Brock win.
Yeah, definitely. There we go. So, good. Looking forward. So, mate, then we got the main match. Well, not one of the main matches. The men's Royal Rumble, Tez, which is arguably one of the highlights. 22 competitors announced out of 30. So, Johnny Knoxville from Jackass, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio, Austin Theory, Sheamus, Damian Priest, AJ Styles, Big E, Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss, Sami Zayn, Kofi Kingston, Kevin Owens, Omos, Randy Orton, Riddle, Chad Gable, Otis, Dolph Ziggler, and Robert Roode. Tez, who do you think's going to win?
So, if I'm going based on the announced entrance and hopefully not anyone from a previous match joining in, I would like it to be AJ Styles.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I think he's still a premium athlete. He, he's spent his time with Omos, getting Omos over as the big goof that he is. But, I mean, he needs to be in those kind of top-level main event matches. And I think he's not going to have many years left in him. I don't think he wants to be wrestling into his 50s, and he's in his early 40s now anyway, isn't he? So I reckon just pull the trigger, give AJ the win. I don't know who I'd want to see him against in terms of looking forward to WrestleMania, but I think that'd be something that everyone would enjoy because it's AJ Styles.
It would feel like it would come out of nowhere, AJ. I know he's broken up with Omos and he's been down in NXT and stuff, doing a few bits and bobs, but it does feel like it's going to come out of left field there for AJ to win. But I agree, it'd be awesome to see AJ win and get a proper run and have another title shot. I want him to get away from this mid-card nothingness that AJ Styles is having at the moment, because it just seems such a waste of one of the best wrestlers of our lifetime, probably of our fanhood. Since we've been watching wrestling, I've been watching wrestling since I was like 8 or 9 years old, probably younger than that, and AJ Styles is one of the best wrestlers. Nice guy too.
Yeah. So I just see this being a good opportunity. Completely out of left field. But then kind of, when Shinsuke won it, that was
it was
that was kind of out of left field. Those are the ones that I always kind of prefer. I never really like repeat winners.
Right.
Whether or not it makes sense for the storyline at the time, I always think, I always like to look at the Royal Rumble as that opportunity for someone new to come along.
Right.
And obviously AJ's not new, but in terms of he's not won before.
Does he need it? Could it be go to someone else and give him a rise up? Owens just resigned. What? Barricades
re-signed, I think.
Re-signed. Oh, I can't read. Classic me. Sorry, guys. I can't read.
It would be cool for Kevin Owens to get it. I don't see it.
No.
I don't think they see that in him. Against Sami Zayn, I like Sami Zayn, but I can't see him winning a Rumble.
Again, here's a problem. It's something that is not surprising, but a way that this guy's gone further down the card since he was just champion. You're not even thinking about Big E. He was just champion. Lost it on New Year's Day.
I mean, the thing with Big E is kind of similar with his brother in the New Day, like Kofi Kingston. Once they've lost it, it's like they're not really looked at in that tier anymore. Right. I'd love Big E to get another opportunity because I think he was a good champion. His music, not my sort of music, but it has that kind of opening bit of dialogue that people instantly recognise. But I just do I see him being the Rumble winner? No, I mean, to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if it was Randy Orton, just because he's been doodling around in the tag team for a while and he's won it a few times.
Well, I think we're going to get Randy Orton and Riddle at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I think so.
I see Riddle having a bit more of a go of it this time because he kind of got shortchanged the last.
Riddle in number one.
Oh, has he been announced as number one?
No. What do you think about that? That'd be quite good.
That'd be pretty cool. I think he'd be quite a good Iron Man.
Yeah, he would. Get him away from the stupid bro stuff and be a proper wrestler. And eliminate Randy Orton and piss off Randy Orton. It's obvious what will happen, but sometimes obvious stuff is good.
Yeah. Is Finn Balor injured? Because he's not announced, is he?
He's not announced, mate. What do you think the possibility of Goldberg? And Big E eliminates him, or vice versa.
Oh, okay.
Because they want to have their match,
Set
don't
up
they?
a feud.
At WrestleMania.
Match.
Goldberg, Big E.
Men slapping meat.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Actually, yeah. If Goldberg was in it, but not to win, but to set up a feud with Big E, I'm for that. I think that would be that'd just be entertaining because Big E is one of the funniest people.
Yeah.
On the roster. So yeah, no, you know what? If it was for that purpose, yeah, I'd be fine with Goldberg.
That'd be quite. I think legend. The crowd would like to see Goldberg come out full on Goldberg entrance. Tez looked thrilled at the possibility of Goldberg. Laugh out loud.
I don't have a good poker face, Pericles.
Yeah. But no, I think Goldberg's possible. And what about? So, did you think about any possibilities that are not in the Fed right now at all? Would you class Goldberg in the Fed? Yes, I guess you would.
Oh man, his Fed name has already escaped me. Adam Scherr, who's the
Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman. That wouldn't surprise me.
Really?
If they would.
A one-night appearance and Omos dumps him out.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? If they really wanted to get some headlines, I think it would create a bit of buzz, although I don't see it happening because of all the news. The Fiend. Like, how cool would it be if all of a sudden a number came and the lights went out? I don't really see it happening.
Yeah.
But strange things have happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, outside
Matt Cardona?
Would he?
I don't know. I did see a picture of him and Kurt Hawkins, whatever his name is. That's his Fed name. Kurt Hawkins and Matt Cardona at the GCW event. Just think, I could have been chased around the 24/7 title. You know, he loves it. He loves it. He's not there. I don't think he put himself back in there.
Do you reckon?
Drew's not in it. So Mr. Priceless.
Oh, Drew.
Elias Nakamura's not in it.
So there's quite a few.
There's a lot of SmackDown people not in it.
Okay, yeah, Cesaro I'd expect to see in there. He might, but no, is that Ryder?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Drew is injured from
Seth. Do you see any
Seth.
likelihood in Cody? Because obviously he's working without a contract, which I think is BS.
Yes, it is. Did you see the match last night on Dynamite? Have you seen it yet? The
I
ladder
did.
match.
That was pretty damn brutal, wasn't
Flipping
it?
egg.
Cutter
off the top of a leapfrog cutter from the top of the ladder. Bloody hell.
The senton, swanton bomb, whatever, onto the ladder that didn't break.
Didn't break.
Bounced off it.
Just landed right on his chest. A fully grown man with massive muscles landing on another man with big muscles.
Yeah, that was
Must have hurt.
That was a pretty intense match. Although I will say, as much as I do kind of like Sammy Guevara, I don't really get the whole place card gimmick thing.
No, and I'll tell you what's weird. Next time you watch Sammy, it's will ruin his matches. Just think how much hair gel he's got in his head, because his head does not move at all. Yet he's getting pulled up by the hair. So it just literally doesn't move. It's rock solid. It's
One thing I noticed at the end of the match when he got the belts, he was holding them aloft. And he's still chewing gum. I thought, so you've just been through all that, and the entire time you've been chewing gum.
It's like Mr. Perfect.
Yeah. How the weird things you notice, eh?
Good match. But back to Rebel, Tez. So anyone from NXT, Bron Breakker?
Bron Breakker. I mean, I have not watched any of
2.0,
but Bron Breakker does seem to be there. There seems to be the guy that they're strapping the rocket to, so he wouldn't surprise me.
Not win, but go long.
Go long, yeah. I don't see anyone from NXT winning. Possibility for Ciampa, or is he left? Is he finished now?
No, he's still there.
Know. So maybe Ciampa.
Yeah. Could be.
But yeah, it depends how much they want to acknowledge the old NXT. Really, if
LA Knight appeared on a backstage segment at Raw.
Oh, and Roderick Strong as well, hasn't he been getting some dark matches? Yeah. If they're smart, I think LA Knight move him into the Rumble, have a good show, and just put him on the main roster.
So I tell you what I'd like to see, and could predict happening. Omos runs wild, eliminates a lot of people. Right, Bron Breakker comes in and eliminates Omos to give, Omos still gets the shine as such of eliminating a lot of people, which they want to do for the now. Bron Breakker then eliminates Omos, but then Bron Breakker doesn't win. He gets eliminated later on, but he has a good little run in it. That could be a good shout to you're raising both Bron Breakker for eliminating the massive guy like Omos. Omos has got a Kane push, eliminate a load of people, which is a thing they like to do, don't they?
Yeah.
All the cannon fodder, Sheamus and Bobby Roode and Ziggler and all that gets rid of all those guys. And then Bron Breakker gets raised up as well for, eliminating Omos. Gunther from Seth, maybe?
Yeah, I think
Walter.
They've got a good opportunity here now to make some feuds kind of to lead into Mania, and that's something that would be pretty good. Omos v Bron Breakker, just to really kind of elevate both of them.
That would be quite cool, I think.
Yeah.
What do you think about Ray and Dominic? Do you think we're going to see Mysterio eliminate another Mysterio? I could possibly see Dominic dumping out his dad. Sorry, Dad.
Whoops. Yeah.
Grounded, son.
it's going to be that typical thing of we're working together because we're a tag team, and then they eliminate someone. One of them lingers too near to the ropes, and the other one eliminates the other one. So, yeah, but I mean, I don't really care about Dominic Mysterio and Ray.
No, Dominic Mysterio is an absolutely awful character.
He's a charisma vacuum.
Isn't he rubbish?
Bland.
He's like, oh, just when I got Subway and this guy served me. He's like a Subway. A lot of them people work at Subway, but you know, it's just like a guy who works in a fast food restaurant, or you know, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? There's no character there, is there, at all for him?
No, he's just got nothing. It's like he's been there a few years now as well. So you think, you know, you maybe pick up some acting, some charisma, something there. But he's just like, oh, Dad, yeah. Oh,
Dad, don't do that. Oh, let me go out and wrestle by myself. Oh, son,
I want to try hard. Yeah.
It's rubbish. Or it looks rubbish too. Like, you know.
Yeah.
I know he's wearing all the colours that his dad wears, but why is he not in a mask and wearing contact lenses?
Exactly.
Could act like a sloth, says Seffi. Could be worse.
His dad's a terrible promo too, says Bericles.
Yeah, his dad still looks cool though. His dad's an okay promo from Bericles. Yeah.
He's not great, but you know, he's not Jeff Hardy terrible. And Jeff Hardy just talks about nonsense. But
Jeff Hardy return?
I don't know. I don't know really the circumstances about him going. Like it seemed like he was in trouble, troubled, but then maybe he was just looking for a way out of his contract because the next day he's on Twitch with his brother and seems fine. Just talking about
maybe
music.
He just wanted to get out of the contract. Who knows? Interesting. No one from AEW or anywhere else as well. There's no real legends, is there? Mr. Price said any legendary sort of nostalgia entrance. Maven, Gangrel.
I would have said Gangrel until Edge started doing the Brood entrances, and Edge's Brood entrances are awesome because I think most people loved that Brood entrance back in the day, but because he's been doing that a couple of times recently, I can't see it being Gangrel because then it'd be like, oh, it's Edge. Oh, no, okay, it's Gangrel.
Yeah.
But in terms of nostalgia entrance, it's a tough one really because the wrestlers seem to be going on longer than they did back in the day. So anyone who isn't wrestling is kind of geriatric these days. Maybe Kevin Nash. I don't know. There's Diesel. I don't know.
Tommy Dreamer, RVD, and Sabu are at it. Well, I don't think Sabu, if you saw him at the GCW show, definitely not. He's all masked up, not wrestling masked, like COVID masked up, and didn't look like he wanted to do much interacting at all. And there was some easy spots he could do. It was the guy who was Rob Van Dam's and Sabu's manager.
Alfonso.
Yeah, so he was doing all the wrestling moves at the GCW show. Sabu just chucked a chair and that was it. So I don't think I think he's done. Fonzie, yeah. But Alfonso, yeah. RVD, maybe. But he's been there and done it. We're running out of special appearances, aren't we? From Seffi said Moose.
Again, it would be cool, but I don't. And there's no disrespect to Impact, but I just don't really see any names there unless there were decent level in the Fed before going there. I just don't see many of them getting a reaction. I don't know. Maybe he could do, but to me, I think the layman wrestling fan would be like, Moose, what?
Yeah.
Who's that?
I think so. Maybe there's a deal with Impact. We want Mickey. We got to put one of our male wrestlers in as well. Eddie Edwards, erratic agent, says. Again, what sort of pop would he get? Nominal.
It's a tough one.
Nominal at best. Sammy Callahan from Seffi.
See, even though he was in NXT for a little bit, he wasn't there that long, I don't think. And again, I can't see it getting that big a pop, unfortunately.
So I'll tell you what I see. What I reckon. Yeah. Rhino. I don't think he's returned at a Rumble for a while. He's still working.
Yeah.
Easy gimmick in it. Rhino spearing someone and chucks out. You know,
get a few spears, get thrown out. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of a pop because the Rhino noise. Yeah. Well, Rhino was with at the GCW show as well. Mr. Price was winning last week against Cardona. When he won, and Cardona won the ECW TV title. So you never know. That could be it. Jeff Jarrett was on SmackDown last week. See, this is the thing. Jarrett was on SmackDown.
He's a possibility.
But he's already been in. And would it ruin his the last Outlaw gimmick he's got with GCW? It seems quite a strong gimmick for him. I like it. I'm not going to talk about too much about GCW because we're going to talk about it on Sunday. But
I guess if he was to appear, they would have him in his typical weird strip
boy band
type
dancer thing.
Yeah. But I see him. He could be a possibility. But yeah, it's unfortunate that normally I'd want to, when I'm watching a Rumble, I'd be thinking, oh, there's so many of these cool names that could appear. But most of the cool names with AEW, and I don't see them.
Yeah,
don't see them doing it or wanting to.
And the legends have already done it. I mean, Booker T again or someone like that. They've been there, done that, haven't we? We've seen it so many times with these guys. I can't think of anyone who isn't as a legendary nostalgia. A Maven, like, I mean, what sort of pop would Maven get? Like Mr. Price has said.
I don't even know what his music was.
Harlem Heat mini reunion from Seffi, maybe. Don't know. Ken Shamrock, he might be in. He could be quite cool.
You know what? Even though it's in his 50s, his music in the Fed was great, and he hasn't been in the Fed for so long. I think he would be quite cool. Actually.
Zicky Dice. Oh no, right. We don't want Zicky Dice. It's don't want that, do we? No. There you go. He didn't like it because I done that Twitch show with him, didn't I? And cut a promo on him, called him a loser.
Right. Did he take it to heart?
Yeah, and then he'll kick me off. All the Americans kick me off.
Oh, what?
Simon Miller, maybe. I don't know. No, he's wrestling in Yeovil on Sunday, so at the Yeovil show. So he won't be at Royal Rumble. But you never know. At the UPW 7th anniversary show, tickets still available from the Yeovil Town Hall box office. Go get some tickets now, guys. If you're going, let us know because it should be a good show.
Sean Waltman, Seth, he said. He's been cleared, hasn't he? I think recently, and that would be quite cool because
Sean Waltman was at GCW. Looks like he's getting into a feud with Matt Cardona. So
he can still go, and he hasn't had like a proper. There's the WrestleMania NWO DX little mini thing, but he hasn't had an actual match in the Fed for ages. He'd be quite cool.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah,
there aren't many people left to sort of pick, are there? Nick Gage, erratic. Oh God, Nick Gage. No chance, erratic. Goodness me. GCW Tag Team Champion Nick Gage. Who knows? We'll have to find out. It's a lot. It's that's the good thing about the Rumble. DDP's done it as well, Pericles, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Jake, but yeah.
I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
I think we're all scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
Yeah.
But if anyone wants to call in as well, let us know. We'll take some calls if anyone does want to chime in and say a few things. Pericles, you might want to, or Seffi, or someone like that. It's cool if you do want to phone in.
David freaking Otunga. Oh my God.
What about I have an idea.
Because
there's a new film out-ish as we got Johnny Knoxville. What about David Arquette?
That'd be pretty cool. Scream has also, only recently come out. So big cross promotion there.
Ryback, that's a blast from the past. There's the call-in number. If anyone does want to call in, hang on 1 second before you do that. Let me just do one thing. Wait, I need to do so. Don't call in yet. There. Okay, yeah. So if anyone wants to call in, they call in now. If anyone wants to have a quick chat about anything, you can let us know, and we will take some calls. But if not, don't worry. It's cool. We can catch up on Sunday when you've discussed the Royal Rumble, when you've seen it and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been good. Yes, it's definitely one of the best. It's fine. It's fine, Berkeley. I just had to enable the waiting room. So if you try again, it should be fine. Just because I had to sort of allow it to come in. So, Bad Bunny, Seffi says.
Yeah, he was surprising in Mania. He was one of those celebrities where I was just like, don't know who he is. Why is he taking up so much TV time? But no, that match was pretty entertaining.
We have already got Johnny Knoxville, though.
He has said that apparently he will have some people in his corner, some people kind of
Pontius,
following him out. So yeah, it's going to be Pontius and Steve.
That place would go bananas where it goes. I think Johnny Knoxville first. Right, so Berkeley is calling in, Tez. So we will just get Berkeley. I think your name might be listed as Lee for this bit, Tez. Sorry.
Oh, no. Oh.
Here we go.
Says Tez. Oh, no, it's got the Twitch for Lee.
That says Lee. You there, Pericles?
Hello there.
Hello, mate. How you doing? Good to have you here.
Bad.
Happy Thursday, dudes.
Same to you. Very, very unusual. Hi, Tez.
Hello, Pericles.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Good to hear your voice, Pericles. Good to hear your voice. It's good.
Thank you. Someday I'll get a decent camera. Right now, I'd look like a the 8-bit Mario used to get on NES. I'd just be squared.
I tell you what, a good way to get a camera. Anyone looking to do any streaming, go on Amazon or Instagram and things like that. There's a lot of companies always looking to demo cameras and tech like that. I got one. I had to buy it from Amazon, keep the receipt, test it, and write a little review, and then I get to keep the camera. I've already promised Andy from the Retro Chat that camera, Berkeley's, but it's a good way to get a free camera.
Awesome. I'm looking into cameras as it is, but the leap from like where I am was about 30 quid, and the next leap is like 70 quid, and the leap after that is like 150 quid. And I'm like,
Facebook, mate. Look, Facebook's a good place where a lot of people do buy streaming gear and then think, oh, this is quite hard work. And then they just sell it on Facebook for no money. So that's a good place to look for it too. Awesome.
But anyway, the Royal Rumble, before I'm sitting there going, so what equipment do you use? And what's your lighting setup? But yeah, the Royal Rumble. This year, like anyone they could bring back for the male Royal Rumble has either done it recently or will make no impact.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to get like Austin or The Rock, which isn't happening.
Yeah.
Then it's not going to be a bit. I mean, Sean Waltman, as you said, would probably be a big pop, and that's really the only one I can think of that hasn't done it in years.
Yeah, I think so. You've not seen him work for ages. I mean, he looked semi-mobile on the GCW show. Have you seen that?
He was, well, considering he was one of only 3 good workers on that GCW show.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we'll talk about that on Friday, on Sunday. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I'll leave my thoughts to that, to another show. But for the Rumble, I'm just like, well, who could win? And I'm like, does it really matter? I think they're going Brock Roman again for Mania.
Yeah.
So at any point, I mean, you've still got that big Saudi show.
Yeah, Elimination Chamber. Yeah,
they can always add someone in there. So whoever wins at the Rumble, I think, is going to end up being upstaged by whoever wins the Elimination Chamber, which kind of sucks.
Well, that's been the case for ages, though, hasn't it? For the last however many years, it does get upstaged by it, doesn't it?
I want another Rumble where the belt's on the line, and not like the weird one where Roman was defending the belt, which was just weird.
What do you think about Charlotte though, being champion in it?
I can't. The way I'm looking at that is Ronda's winning or Bianca's winning. If they've got Ronda, she'll win.
Right.
If they haven't, Bianca will win.
Right.
They'll want Ronda for headlines on this to build up to Mania.
Yeah.
Although I don't know how much her legitimate sporting background kind of has held the test of time, if you know what I mean.
It's waned a bit, I think, her appearance. I
don't know if even with outside media, nobody's saying like, oh wow, former UFC heavyweight champion Brock Lesnar is on Raw. Are they? It's just like, yeah, he's on Raw. He's contracted to them, so of course, I think the same thing will happen with
what happened between Ronda and Charlotte?
I thought that turned out to be a work.
No, but did they have who won on storyline?
No one, because they ended up in a 3-way.
Okay, so maybe Ratchet just put in the chat room, call your shot for Charlotte if she wins. Maybe Charlotte wins the Rumble and says, there's one person I've not beaten. I've beaten everyone else, and it's Ronda Rousey. Rather than Ronda not being on the Rumble, not being promoted that she's on the Rumble this Sunday, you could have it teased on Fox. There's one person I've not beaten, and it's Ronda Rousey. I want to beat Ronda Rousey. And then it keeps on being teased, and she turns up on a SmackDown Friday night on Fox, and huge viewers goes and sees her return.
My answer to that is, I think if she does it, it'll be, I'm on the Rumble, and I'm on Mania. That's it. You build me up. You've got all the footage from my matches. You build me up. I'm not putting all that work in. I've just had a kid.
Do you think they would do that though, with it being only literally she'll be turning up on Friday night and the Rumble's the next day?
What I mean is, she turns up at the Rumble,
points
at the sign or whatever, or wins points. You don't see her again until Mania.
Really? Wow.
And all it would be is literally because like she doesn't love the wrestling business. Like I think she did, and then as soon as the fans turned on her for being like, I don't even know why the fans turned on her. I thought she was great, but
wasn't it? Was it her feuding with Becky, and Becky was red hot?
Yeah,
and she was they turned on her by proxy. If I remember right. I don't think she did anything heelish.
Exactly. That's what I think. I kind of get her being a bit annoyed. Like, it's my job, and like all I'm doing is getting booed, haven't you? But it's like, yeah, it's your job. You're now a de facto heel. Put up with it.
Yeah,
but it's the same. Get her being a bit annoyed.
She came across a bit thin-skinned, didn't she?
Yeah, I mean, look at what happened when she lost it. When she actually lost at MMA. I mean, that first loss was brutal. Don't get me wrong. And like people couldn't wait to rip into her. And the moment that happened, you could just see all her the second fight she came back in, her confidence was gone. As soon as she wasn't, not to use an overused term in wrestling, but the people's champ, she was done.
Yeah, she was done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, goodness, none of us have fought. I don't know. Have you ever fought Pericles or Tess? I mean, you know.
Have you ever seen that? Have you seen the episode of South Park with Timmy and the other guy? I can't say what they say during the start of that battle, but somebody would no doubt yell that as soon as I got into a fight.
You know, I think of what I'm sort of saying is like it does affect. You know, if you've been kicked in the head as hard as she was kicked in the head by Holly Holm, that must affect your confidence, and it was scary.
I'm not saying anything. Like I completely, you know, I understand why it happened, but it was very much like, you know, a lot of fighters get brutally knocked out, and they're like, "Nah, I'm coming back. I'm not having that." Yeah. And she was just like, "Oh," because her fights were
quick.
It was like armbar, throw, armbar, and she took a few punches in that.
Yeah,
it's like Brock doesn't like getting punched in the face.
No.
I mean, nobody likes getting punched in the face, but like his MMA career, as soon as people realised if you punch him hard in the head, he'll back up.
Yeah.
He was pretty done.
Never went back though, did he? He had that match against Mark Andrews, that fight, wasn't it? Mark Andrews, and got busted for doing
Mark Hunt.
Mark Hunt, yeah. Got busted for doing some sort of a performance enhancer, and then never went back.
Yeah, well,
that was weird.
Doesn't need to. He's getting paid silly money from Vince.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Rumble, I just don't know. I think it'll be Brock. I think Damian Priest will be the Iron Man.
Really? You think Damian Priest with his Damian and Priest character, which is the shittest character going?
Yeah, but look at what they love. Look at what they love.
Right.
Like, they can't wait to get the demon out, can they? Even though the demon's a bit flipping dodgy when it comes to Finn Balor. Like, by now they've used the demon up ridiculously.
I don't think. I think what's going to happen, because Damian Priest got disqualified against Kevin Owens for punching him too much in the corner, he'll go bananas and jump over the top rope and attack someone like a crazy man. Because the Damian will take over.
Will they use the 1992 Royal Rumble rules, which is you can't eliminate yourself?
I know.
Or the 1997 Royal Rumble rules, where Mil Mascaras, Mexican legend, quote unquote, refused to let anybody beat him, so he jumped off the top rope to the outside and eliminated himself. So they changed the rule specifically because one guy was like, "Nobody's throwing me out."
I don't know. We'll have to.
I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, it is funny. It's funny. I don't know. I mean, I think it's the best time, one of the best pay-per-views of the year, though, Pericles. I think.
The Rumble. The Rumble's easily my favourite. I'll invite a couple of friends round, crack a few beers open, draw a couple of numbers out of a hat, and see what happens.
Yes, it's good. I mean, we can. I'm excited. I think we're all excited. You know why we do this show? Really, another show, like an extra show to preview the Rumble, because it's such a good show.
It's always fun, even if you know who's going to win. Yeah. It's still fun being like, who's going to turn off, and that has been dulled a little bit this year. But there's always that one chance someone turns up and does real well.
Sting! Oh my god!
He'd be eliminated 30. Do you know who could turn up for a quick go?
Who?
Triple H.
Could do. I don't know. He's got that bad ticker, hasn't he now?
Well, that stops people who love professional wrestling. Like Terry Funk couldn't move.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just gonna. You know what I mean? I can't see it, but he could do if they want a big pop.
Or HBK. I don't know.
No. I mean, I still haven't seen the Saudi match because I don't want to, because like
there was that a little bit like me watching the Girl Ghostbusters. I was like, I'm never going to watch that film.
Have you not seen it?
No. Good I said lad. I'll never watch it.
Good lad.
So is that like you with Shawn Michaels? Say I'm never going to watch that match because I don't want it to.
I don't need. If I'd have heard reports of it and they were like, God, it was amazing, I'd have been like, all right, yeah. And all I hear was like, it's a disaster and it's like the worst thing ever and it tarnishes his legacy. And I'm like, oh, so it's like Flair in TNA.
He gets a lot of money for it though, didn't he?
hey, fair play. I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, how dare he come back? If somebody offers you a ton of money, take it.
Yeah. Fly first class to Saudi Arabia, get paid a ton of money, and wrestle for 10 minutes. Yeah, right. Might as well.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, buy myself another house or something.
I can't even think who'd be able to turn off.
Didn't BT Sport? They did BT Sport for WWE on Twitter. I think they've done some video of HBK training, his little bald head training, but they also did a post about Okada as like, I mean, I know they're not affiliated direct, they're not WWE employees. It's like a thingamajiggy, but doing like a little dream booking of who could be at the Rumble. I mean, I don't see it happening, but if Okada came out,
no, but like again, those are the kind of people like serious fans would be amazed by, but. Would your average person who sat at the Rumble and gone, we'll go out because it's the Rumble, be like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
And wasn't he Okada in TNA?
TNA,
guy.
But
like,
if they know he's Okada in TNA, they'd know he's Okada now.
True, true. Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of thing that you want to see. I mean, the Mickey thing, I get the impression, it won't be mentioned as she's Impact champion. They did it the one time because that's in the contract, and they never have to do it again. But arguably, they did it on a bigger stage because it was network television.
Yeah.
And I think she'll be in. She'll have about 5 minutes and she'll be out.
Yeah, I think so.
Which is a shame because unless they do genuinely feel bad about the black bag thing.
Yeah, you probably do feel a bit bad. What do you think about Alexa Bliss? No one's mentioned her. She's doing those stupid psychological things that are on Raw.
I hate that character so much.
Yeah, like
I like Alexa Bliss because of what Crimson Mel said about the character, and that was quite good. The possession thing, it made the character more in depth, than WWE ever would get.
Crimson Mel's put way more work into it than WWE ever will. Like whenever Crimson Mel's explained that stuff, that's really cool. It's a shame you're never going to get that.
Yeah.
Unless they write a book, they write a book like the Kane book, Journey into Darkness. If you ever read that. No. It's like a fictional account of Kane's life. It's hilarious.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
It takes into account all of his storyline craziness.
Really? Oh my god, this sounds like the greatest wrestling book ever.
It's so dumb, but Alexa will turn up in it. She might even win because they obviously love her, and she has a big following.
And of course, Charlotte ripped up Lily, so maybe Alexa goes bananas.
Oh no, not Lily.
But that's what makes her go crazy, wasn't it? Charlotte did it. So
here's how you know that we not that we don't get it, but we don't get it. People bought replicas of that doll.
We're talking about
who are these people?
I've got this Sting teddy bear. I just bought these two things. If you can see on the camera, sorry, podcast. I got my Sting teddy bear.
Was it Wink?
And my Hulk Hogan teddy bear. I'm 38 years old.
Hey man, if I've got. I'd hate to think what I've got around here.
Oh well, at least we. I got a Sting teddy bear cuddling Hulk Hogan in a lovely.
The feud is finally over.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens, Berkeley. Thanks for calling in, mate.
No problem, man. No problem. I'm saying Brock and I'm saying Ronda, and those are my picks for the Rumble.
Cool. Well,
see you later.
See you later, buddy. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
That was Berkeley's, mate. That was Berkeley's phoning in. Thank you, Berkeley's phoning in. If anyone else wants to phone in quick, we'll keep the phone lines open for a little bit. But if not, it's been a blast, Tez. Thank you very much.
Yeah, enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
Always good getting you on the show. And talking about getting you on the show, Tez, we've got something we're going to announce right now. So, as everyone knows, we've started the MOS Network, and we've got Andy as part of the network doing his retro chat. And congratulations again to Andy for getting in the top 80 of the TV podcast charts retro chat this last week, which is amazing. Well done, mate. And another guy we know is the man who's sitting next to me on the screen, and it's the main man Tez. And Tez, if anyone doesn't know, he owns a film company that specifies in horror. And when we announced the MOS Network and we had plans to do it and expand, Tez contacted Lee and me and had the plan for some shows. So Tez, why don't you tell everyone about what you're going to be bringing to the MOS Network?
So, as Lawrence mentioned, I'm a big horror boy. Done film directing, film writing, run a company called Vipco that release horror films. So I'm going to bring that horror knowledge to the MOS Network with the Ministry of Horror. So
maniacal.
So it's going to be all things horror, whether it is film reviews, whether it is video games on live Twitch streams. Going to be bringing on guests to look at horror tier lists, like horror franchises, round robin tournaments to sort of break down different brackets of, I don't know, maybe the best slasher films of all time, maybe the best paranormal films, best films in a franchise. It's pretty much going to be all things horror, even books maybe, but I don't think many people read these days, but maybe there'll be some book segments. But yeah, I mean, as you may notice, if you're a horror aficionado, I've got some Halloween artwork behind me, and mentioning figurines, I have my own figurines. Oh, God. So over here, we have a little mascot, Tim Curry's Pennywise.
Oh, that's cool. Ooh.
Oh, look at that.
Ted's is showing off his Pennywise figure, podcast listeners. It looks very good.
Podcast listeners. But yeah, it's we're going to do a weekly show with once a week as well, also doing video game streams. But yeah, it's very excited to be part of the MOS Network with Lee Lawrence and Andy.
Good to have you on board, mate. Good to have you on board, part of the MOS Network. And so a lot of Tez's shows will be going into the podcast feed as well. So it's not just going to be here on the Twitter or across all the other channels. It'll be everywhere across the podcast feed, across all the YouTubes and the Facebooks and stuff. So it's quite cool to bring a completely different show to the MOS Network with the Ministry of Horror. And it's great to have you on board. And on behalf of Lee as well, I know he thinks the same as well. So it's quite cool, actually, Ted. It's really, really cool. And I know, as someone who has been murdered by you in a movie, I know that you know all about horror, Ted. So,
do you know what? Now you mention that, I think one of the MOH streams is probably going to have to be a live stream of maybe an edited version of that same film, Harvest of the Dead, Halloween Night. I'm probably going to have to edit some of the adult
starting scene. Yeah,
the first scene is a glamour model. Not wearing much. Yeah. That probably won't fly on Twitch, but I'll maybe cut some segments, especially your appearance, Lawrence, and put a little show reel together. But yeah, yes. I'm going to be editing some videos, just to really, create some buzz. But yeah, couldn't be happier to be part of the network, my friend.
It's going to be awesome, mate. Very welcome, dude. And it's good to have you on board. Miss Price in the chat. MOH. So that's really cool. Nice one. And Gruff, evening, awesome. Guys. I've been lurking and just caught the Ministry of Horror. Sounds right up my street, up for this show. Nice one, Gruff. That's good. So it's going to be in the podcast, Erratic Agent. Of course, I tell you what, Tez, I guess you should be getting on the show, and you've been on the show, then get Erratic Agent onto the show. That should be a guest. You need to arrange it with that man, because he knows his horror as well. So, and you guys have been on talking about AEW together. So I
think we're linked up on Twitch. So yeah, Erratic, I'll drop you a note. We'll get something sorted.
Yeah, definitely get that man on.
Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait.
Cool. It's going to be awesome, dude. Nice one. So welcome to the MOS Network, Tez. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's been awesome. And this will be in the podcast feed. And I think we'll be back on Sunday for main MOS, that's the right word, the Ministry of Slam, the first show that was on the MOS Network. We'll be back on Sunday. But with Lee and me, which would be great. But remember, guys, there's lots of other cool stuff. Andy's now doing daily news updates on the MOS Network podcast feed and the Retro Chat podcast feed, which is really cool. He does his Retro Chat last night. If anyone ever wants to check out Battlestar Galactica. Now, I used to watch this when I was a kid. And Andy took a really deep dive all by himself on the microphone about Battlestar Galactica. It was really, really cool. And he done a lot of research about it. It's really worth going to check out, and it's in the podcast feed now about Battlestar Galactica and Battlestar Galactica 80. This isn't the one that was released in 2003. The original one was Starbuck, but Dirk Benedict. It's really, really good, and the fair play to that show for Andy. Really cool. And next Wednesday he's got Lee and another wrestling podcast. I'm not sure who it is. Sorry, discussing who is the best manager, Bobby the Brain Heenan or Jim Cornette. A bit of a debate. Which is a cool. You got to go and check out Retro Chat, guys. He's live every Wednesday on across the network as well. Please do come and like and subscribe to all of our YouTubes and Twitches and Trovos and Facebooks and all that good stuff. Help share the stream and all that good stuff. Yeah, this Sunday on Ministry of Slam, Mr. Process says we've got the Rumble after the Road to Mania, Wrestlemania starts, and a GCW review, and also news on the MOS Arena. We might not have the MOS Arena match, but let me tell you, it's done. So we might have a little bit of MOS Arena preview. So it is 100% done. So apart from a little bit of working with the guy who's done it, with Cody, who's done it for us, I need to just do a tiny little finishing touch, but it's like 98% there. So hopefully we'll have some footage of our new Ministry of Slam Arena this Sunday on this show, and we'll put that into the podcast, into the YouTube channel, and all that good stuff as well. So good stuff. Very good. Thank you, Tez, again.
Excellent. Thanks very much. Be sure to follow on Twitter the new handle for Ministry of Horror, Ministry_Horror. We'll have all the latest news going on there, and obviously on the network. But again, thank you so much for having me on the show, man. It's been great to hype up the Rumble. I will be watching it. I was and ahhing just because I've kind of not really watched much of the Fed, but you know what? I'm intrigued enough by both Rumble matches. I will renew said subscription.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Just go for it, Ted. Well, or we could just all have one MOS Network subscription, and you'll just have it'd be like a timeshare.
I was going to just start a new email address and get a free trial.
That's probably the best plan, yeah. I saw, I was listening to the old MOS on the MOS Classic, which is out tomorrow as well, from 12 years ago. This very week is out tomorrow, as well as this will be dropping on the podcast feed if you've just joined us. And there's a moment when Simon, Andy and Lee and Martin are talking about going to Justin's house to watch a pay-per-view. And I'm like, and I remember at the time, I always remember this, I was sitting there thinking, who's this Justin? And why am I never invited to go around there? I didn't know what they were talking about. Justin.tv. And didn't that end up turning into Twitch? No? Am I right? That was Ustream, was it? I can't remember.
Oh, I thought you meant Justin.
No.
Justin who was watching wrestling with at yours that time.
No. Justin.tv. So they were watching it on a channel. And I didn't know what that meant. I always remember thinking, why am I not ever invited around Justin's house? I don't understand. So I'm still like that now, to be honest. But there we go. Thank you, Tez. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. It's been great. And remember, check out MOS Classic tomorrow. Find out what's happening in wrestling 13 years ago this very week. And we'll be back on Sunday for Ministry of Slam. I'm going to do Bon Jovi on Saturday in Chester. If anyone's there, wants some free tickets, let me know. And we will see you guys on the Flip Flop. Oh, hang on. Classic, mate. Got to do something. Oh, crap, I messed up there. Right, no, right. Oh, God, so bad. It's hard to organise it twice with two things. I need it on a button. Anyway, see you on the Flip Flop. Bye.
Yeah.